Hi guys, a lot of people are asking me when am I going to start this build with my Toyan 4-cylinder engine, which I've had quite a while now, but as you know I've been doing lots of other things. I thought I haven't built this yet because I've been looking around for a body and some idea of what to build. I don't really want to go on road because, you know, as you know, I do a lot of flying over my field and stuff like that, and I want something sort of off-road. Doesn't have to be too mad like my trucks have been, or really high or something like that. So I found this new bright body shell on the bay, and the guy gave me the measurements of it and everything, and I thought, yeah, that might be do, because you remember the Schumacher Big Six, and the wheelbase and everything was perfect, but the problem with that, it's like a flat pan chassis, and to make it four-wheel drive would be an absolute nightmare. So I've been thinking of where to go with this, and I'm thinking along the lines of Kyosho Mad Force parts. Not the 3-speed gearbox, using a Revo gearbox because they're like bulletproof, but I'm thinking of using the running gear to try and get into this shell. Now, I think this shell's like 7th scale, which I think is about right. I think 5th is too big. It's quite light, not a bad looking body. I don't know whether I can get all that mud off, but it's got lights and stuff on it. Yeah, I think it will do all right, really, because, you know, it doesn't have to be high. I want to make it kind of look sort of, maybe a little bit of a stance, but kind of something like that. But that's probably what I'm going to use. I've got this, there's only a mirror missing. It's a hard body, so I can cut the front out of it, and we go from there. So I'll just sort of give you some idea of what I might be able to do. These are the parts I've been sort of collecting along the way. I've got a guy at Kyosho Spares, Anthony Howlett, who helps me out quite a bit with parts, because the Mad Force has been out of production for a long while now. I know they changed it to Mad Crusher and Mad Force and God knows what else. It's always been a Mad Force. Some of the parts have changed slightly, and some are basically the same. Now, I had a Mad Force when they first come out, and you know, basically it was quite fun. 21 engine in it, but it didn't handle that well. But I am a bit of a fan of a solid axle truck. So anyway, this is the parts I've accumulated so far. We've got these parts that go onto the axle. They sort of push in there like that, and this is what the axle float on. Let's just take one out. So these actually go on there like that, so you secure them at the front, and then the axle got shots coming off of here, and they can sort of move around. Now, the reason I got these, they're a little bit wider than I want. It's very hard to find anything to fit in that body, the width wise, but the reason I've got these is because I can adjust them. I can sort of cut and shut them, like I think like a lot of the drag boys used to do. I can shorten this down to how much I want, go in or out, and shorten that as well. They've made these a lot stronger now. On the new ones, this is an old one, on the new ones they've moved the screw in further, but you can put that in there. So if you cut that down, you can make that smaller. If you want to make that smaller, you can cut that down and push that in further like that. So then I can tailor make this to fit in that body. I'm not using these wheels, but these are 8 scale wheels, and I think the 8 scale will probably fit in here quite nicely. They fit in the arches well, and I think a set of black wheels with a sort of aggressive tread pattern should be okay. Now this is a Mad Force or Mad Crusher truck. Whether I'm going to go with this or make my own, I might be able to extend these out longer and hang these from there, because they were like that. They used to come out the front, so they were like sprung like that. So I could put that underneath and make them sort of move like that, front and back. Just got to extend it, and the back ones, they can come down like that, and I can extend them up and down like that. So, you know, I've got a lot of what's the word? Got a scope for moving these in and out, or you know. But so I might need a new chassis. I might make my own rails, but that was so cheap. I thought I'd buy it and see if it can do as a base. Now, these are the these are the new ones. They're off the Mad Crusher. Basically, they just moved the holes and they strengthened them up around there because they used to break off. But that is basically the same as a Mad Force truck that I had all them years ago. So if I build 4 of those, or 2 of those, front and back, like that, and cut them down, I've got all the knuckles, they're all kosher. And the good thing with this is all this stuff, the running gear, not so much the axles and stuff like that, but the running gear is like Inferno, the basic Burns, Turbo, whatever you want to call it. They're all use the same basic sort of running gear. Now, when I shorten these down, I'm going to have to make my own dog bones or UJs. It's only a matter of cut them down, put the sleeve in them to the right length, and then brazing them up. That's quite simple. But the differentials, I mean, these have been around since sort of time began. They're the old like DX Burns and Landmax and whatever you name, every they're 8th scale off-road buggies. They all come with these type diffs. Now, they're kind of fairly bulletproof, apart from these ones are out of the cheap, sort of ready-to-run cars, and they've got an alley cram wheel and also an alley drive pinion. So they're not the greatest of things. They do like a Helix one. Again, it's not great, but it's better than these. But, you know, this car, or the engine, is only 13,500 RPM. I'm not going to try and turbo it and everything like that. I just want it to sound nice, look nice, and have a reasonable, you know, turn of speed. If it runs like my other trucks, I'll be over the moon. So there's always, you know, these engines, they don't need to rev. They're quite talky, so you can kind of gear them up, especially with a Revo box. There's a lot of options you can do there, and you can gear the thing up, and you can use the torque, you know, for it to go. I don't know if you've seen, I've got that twin-cylinder Tamiya Hilux going quite well now. Just a slight misfire at the top end, which I'm trying to find out what that is, but it's a fantastic sounding thing, and it's quite fast. It's faster than my little single cylinder. It's on YouTube if you want to have a look, on my channel. I'm trying to get a few running videos. I've got a couple of helicopters and stuff on there. But this is kind of where I'm thinking, because it gives me, there's nothing fixed. I can alter all these around, and these, it gives you a good platform, you know, and you've got like the axle can sort of bend a bit or go up and down and stuff like that. So it's got a bit of suspension. It's not independent, but it's a very kind of simple truck-like setup, you know, which I kind of quite like. I like trailing arms, they work well. That's all your shop mounting points, so there's a lot of adjustment. And if you can imagine, you've got kind of, you know, you've got quite a lot of this moving around. It's quite a nice setup. And obviously, I don't want as much movement as the Mad Force. I just want sort of like an inch or so up and down, 25mm, if that. So I'm going to run small shocks, if I can. We'll see what it fits like in the body. because I kind of don't want it like a mega off-road truck. I want it sort of like a normal car type thing. I'll try and do something with the body if I can get that mud-looking stuff off, but for the moment, this is kind of where I'm going with this. Now, I suppose really I better build the engine first to see how big it's going to be. But this seems quite a good way of doing it because I know I can get all the running gear. There's loads. I've got a bucket of bits down here somewhere, I think, for this car. These are the Revo Gearboxes. Now, if anyone's thinking of building like a Toyan engine truck, it's really what you need. And my Toyan Twin has got the Tamiya white high lift. That has got a Kyosho 2-speed on it, which goes down to a transfer box to another Kyosho forward and reverse transfer box. And that's what I'm using there, which works really well. But it's all open. With these, they're all sealed. Gear change is perfect. It's all adjustable. You can sort of do what you like with a gear change. So this is more parts I've got for it. You know, I mean, this is the other diff. These are the other sort of diffs you can get, which have got this like helical gear, which is better. They do suffer to chip and break them. So I've got lots of them. What else have I got in here? I've got like big bore shocks if I need them. Whether I'm going to go up that mad on it, I don't know. Got another standard differential. See, that'd be alright for the time being. I've got pinions and stuff, so it's kind of getting the axles the correct length will be the first bit. So, you know, I'm going to have to cut and shut them and put the knuckles on and get the wheels to fit nice inside that body. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So I'm probably going to have to do the chassis part first, and then put these trailing arms on and see what I need to cut off. So that is the main thing. See, I could get some longer pieces of alley and I could bolt them to this. You know, it's not a problem. It's quite a simple way they bolt on. Thing is, this is nice alley. Whether I could come off of this, I don't know. Don't have to. I can cut this piece off here and just kind of extend it, really. And you've got a plate here if you want to put the engine on the plate, but I always like to sort of bear off the sides like a real car engine. So I think the thing is now I've got to start building the engine and get that in one lump so I know what I've actually got, and then that'll give me the size and the reference for what I need to start doing that. I've got some alley coming for the chassis, the 2 side rails. That again, I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the... I was thinking that maybe I could go independent on the front and run a solid back axle, so I'm not sure which way I'm going with that. But whatever I do, I need to get the chassis kind of quite high. You can't run a flat pan chassis, you know, and make it four-wheel drive. It's so difficult. And that Schumacher Big 6 was kind of a good size. It would have mean shortening the wheelbase again, which I'm doing here. But I think this is going to be quite an interesting project when I get around to it. I've still got a few more bits and pieces to do. I bought another sort of old kit, new in box, which I'm itching to build as well. So I'll do a little video on that as well, but I won't tell you what it was. But it's an interesting thing, I think, from the late 80s, 90s. So I'm looking forward to running that. So I just thought I'd give you an update, because people are saying to me, you built that Toyan 400L engine yet, and all that kind of thing. And I haven't, because I've been doing the bike and I've been doing other little helicopters and things. It's got a bit pushed to one side. And I'm going out now, of course, not in lockdown, so I can go flying. I can run my cars outside, which I like doing. So I've been out doing that. But this is kind of where I've got in a moment with this, and I can see kind of basically what I'm going to do with it. And hopefully next time I do a video on this, it might be some sort of shape and maybe have the axles in. I don't know yet. You know, we'll have to see. because you know, not 100%. This is not set in stone, but I've got the parts now, so this is what I'm going to work around. So I'm going to sign out now, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep safe and look after yourselves. See you, guys.